Hello everybody, it's me, the Hero Teacher, and I've been teaching English and IELTS for over 10 years. In today's video, we're going to answer 10 questions that almost every IELTS candidate around the globe wants an answer for. Without a further ado, let's get started. The first question says, what level is required to prepare for the IELTS test? Well, that basically depends on your target score. If you're planning to achieve, or if you're wishing or hoping to achieve 8 or plus, then you definitely need to be around C1 or advanced level in English. Otherwise, it's going to be quite difficult, if not impossible, for you to get there. I don't want to demotivate you guys, but you need to set some realistic goals so that you don't get disappointed at the end. But if your goal is to get around 6.5 because you're applying for a university in Europe or somewhere, then starting from pre-intermediate will be just fine. Is writing the hardest section of the test? Well, this is asked by almost every candidate. The answer is yes and no. Yes is because even native speakers, when taking the IELTS test, actually score the lowest in this section. The answer is no, because if you practice writing a lot, then that's not going to be that difficult for you. For example, I can talk about myself. Well, I'm a person who doesn't have a lot of writing experience compared to my speaking. When I took the test the last time, I scored 8 in speaking and 7.5 in writing. Well, they're not that far apart, right? That was because I practiced writing actually 3-4 times more than my speaking. Had I practiced my speaking that much, I would have gotten probably 9 in speaking and probably lower in writing. So the more you practice a particular section, say speaking or writing or reading or listening, the chances are you're going to score quite high in that particular level, in that particular section, sorry. So writing is not that difficult. Actually, people find it tedious to work on writing. That's the only reason why even native speakers sometimes get low grades in the writing band of the IELTS test. How long do I need to fully prepare for the test? Well, that again depends on your level and on your target score. If you're around pre-intermediate in English and you want to get 8.5 in IELTS, well, you're going to need more than a year, because just strategies or tips will not help you get there. What you need to do is to also develop your English, improve your reading comprehension, your listening comprehension, expand your vocabulary, practice grammar, practice speaking, practice writing every day. That's why we always must take into account development part as well. Like, some people think preparing for IELTS is only about getting the strategies. Well, for strategies, 1 or 2 months will be completely enough. But getting there, like improving your level, is the actual task that consumes your time. That's why make sure that you develop your level as much as possible, like reach intermediate or even upper intermediate or advanced level, then IELTS is going to be piece of cake. Well, can I study IELTS alone, or do I need a teacher? Well, as a teacher, my recommendation or my answer to this question is absolutely yes. You can study for the IELTS test alone. There are hundreds of videos available on YouTube. There are hundreds of books written on that, like strategy books, how to write books, how to read books, how to listen books, a lot of books on IELTS preparation, a lot of videos. Instructors like me from various countries have posted countless videos to help people like you who want to do some self-study. However, when you work with a teacher, he or she gives you the right direction in the fastest way possible. When you do self-study, you obviously need to watch so many videos, you need to read a few books to get the strategy correct, right? But when you work with a teacher, you just need to follow his or her instructions. That saves on time. Obviously, it's going to cost you some money because you have to pay for the service, but it's going to save you on time. So if you've got a lot of time, but you're low on budget, definitely go for self-study. No, if you're in rush but you can easily spend some money on that preparation. Definitely choose a teacher that you can rely on. Well, can I take the exam online? Yes. Now technology has made it possible to take the exam from wherever you want, as long as your computer meets the necessary requirements so that the IELTS software can be run on your computer. Back in the day, like 10 years ago, it wasn't even the possibility, it wasn't even the dream for us taking the exam at home. But now it's possible, you just need to apply for it. I mean, even in the country where I am now, it was impossible. But now that I checked it, it's possible, you can take it. But people still go to the exam centers just to feel that environment. Or some of them don't have the, computers that are powerful enough to run the software. Well, I don't think the software is too difficult or too big or large, or I don't know, however you call it. But still, people love exam centers. I don't know why, but that's the case. Should I take the computer delivered exam or the paper-based one? Well, I think more and more people are taking the computer delivered version because it saves time on reading and writing sections particularly. Paper-based, it is still okay. People who love papers, writing on paper, take the exam paper-based. However, my recommendation, my suggestion, my advice as a teacher is computer delivered, because when you take the test on a computer, you save a lot of time on reading and writing particularly. On reading, because when you take the paper-based test, you have to transfer your answers to an answer sheet within that given 1 hour limit, which obviously consumes your time. So you have to find the answer and also write it on the answer sheet. But when it's on computer delivered, you don't have to do it because your answer is already confirmed answer on the computer. And when the time is up, you don't have to worry about whether or not you have actually submitted your answer because it's automatic submission. On writing, that's the same case. We type on a keyboard much faster than we write on a paper. I mean, at least that's the case for me and my students. If you're a person who loves writing on a paper, you definitely need to choose the paper-based version. Now, if you are more technological, if you are more pro-technology, then definitely typing on a keyboard will save you more time. In addition to that, the fact of handwriting, the possibility of the examiner not understanding your handwriting will possibly lower your score, which is a risk that I wouldn't take. So when you type on a keyboard, it's actually no handwriting, it's computer version, and everybody can easily read it, right? That's why computer delivered is my recommendation, but at the end of the day, you make the final decision. When are the results revealed? Well, if you've taken the exam paper-based, then it's going to take you around 2 weeks, 14 days for the answers to be revealed. But if you have taken the computer delivered version, just 1 day. You take the exam today and tomorrow the results are ready. It's insane. I mean, back in the day, we had to wait for 2 weeks for our answers to be revealed. Oh, that was, nightmare, because 2 weeks you don't know what's going to happen. But now it's so easy. It's computer delivered. You take it today, tomorrow the results are revealed. It's brilliant. And it's also good for people who want, fast results. There are some students of mine who want to apply for the university, and the deadline, let's say, is December the 25th. So they take the exam on the 22nd, so they have the results, right? But back in the day, it used to be they had to take the exam on the 10th or 9th. So we still can use that 2 weeks for extra preparation, which is always good. What is one skill retake? Well, that's a brilliant question. Again, back in the day, when you took the exam, that was it. You couldn't change anything. Now, there is that possibility of one skill retake. The basic idea behind one skill retake is that if you want to improve one of the sections, your score in one of the sections, you can do that. Obviously, you have to pay for it. I think it's around $150 or $55. And when you apply for it, let's say your reading score is lower than expected, so you pay that amount and you sit only for reading test, 1 hour. And then when the results are revealed for that particular version, you get 2 certificates. One, the original one, the other one is the certificate that's got that retake score on it. So if your reading has increased, so you get a new certificate with that increased reading score. But one note, on that certificate, before the reading section, there's a mark that says this is retake version. So it's obvious. Some universities accept it, some universities don't. I don't know why. It is still the certificate at the end of the day, but you should be very careful about that, and you need to check it with your university whether or not they actually accept a retake version of the certificate. If I apply for reassessment for writing or speaking, can my score be reduced? Interesting question. Well, just like one skill retake, there is also reassessment possibility for either writing or speaking, because listening and reading are done through computer, so there is nothing you can do about it. But if you think the examiner has been unfair to you, your speaking was 8, but the examiner, graded you as 7 or 7.5, you can apply for reassessment again by paying extra. And in case your score goes higher, your score is changed in the original certificate and your money is paid back to you. I mean, the amount that you paid for reassessment. But it's not the same examiner that checks your writing or speaking again. It's another examiner who has no information about the original score that was given to you. So it is good and bad. It's good because if you're sure about your score and if you think you've been treated unfairly, you can easily, apply for reassessment and you'll get a higher score and you'll also get your money refunded. I mean, the extra amount you paid for reassessment. The bad thing is that if you're not sure, but you still want to do it, it's going to cost you extra money that will not change anything. But coming to the actual question, can my score be reduced? The answer is no. Even the second examiner reduces your original score in the certificate, it will not be displayed. So you'll be given the certificate with the higher one. Like in any case, you are left with the certificate that has higher score. Or if your score is not changed, like if it is 6.5 and the second examiner also grades you as 6.5, it's going to be the same, but just extra money is gone. How many hours should I study for IELTS? Well, it's pretty much similar to question number 3. How long do I need to fully prepare for the test? Well, generally, one candidate has got a capacity of 4 hours a day to prepare for the test, because more than 4 hours, your brain is not going to accept it. It's like you're going to be full, right? Less than that depends on you. Like, I don't recommend my students to go burnout because it's really risky and you can actually be disgusted with the exam and the preparation stuff. I don't want you to feel that burnout or being disgusted with all that, preparation stuff. Instead of waiting for the last moment, for the last month to prepare for the exam, my recommendation is start 3 months earlier and prepare 1-2 hours at your convenience so that you have more time, you have more motivation, you have more, convenience to prepare for the exam. If you're waiting for the last moment, if you're procrastinating, well, the things are going to be tricky. You may not feel ready for the exam, but you still have to take it. You may not completely finish the preparation process. You may have some gaps here and there. Even a teacher may not help you if you've got very limited time, because again your capacity is this much and you can't fill yourself in with extra information no matter how hard you try. So as a teacher, as a person who's worked with like hundreds of IELTS candidates, my recommendation is start a little bit early. Like if your deadline is December, start from September, August, and study 1-2 hours a day. Develop your English, learn strategies, ask questions to your teacher, work at your convenience, and that's going to be the best possibility to score high and to enjoy the process. Well, these are the 10 questions that my students have actually asked me. If you like the video, if you think that's useful, all I ask is just a small like. and if possible, share it with your friends so they can also get benefit of that video. Thank you very much and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.